How's it going, everyone? My name is Rico, 32 years of age, and I'm from Denver, Colorado, born and raised. I'm a single father of three girls, 10, 7, and 5, and I'm currently taking up criminal justice, intro to criminal justice at Front Range Community College. I am an online student. This is a response and a reflection to not only a podcast, but the reading of 2 chapters in my textbook provided for the course, Intro to Criminal. In reflection, of the podcast and the 2 chapters from Intro to Criminal, just to kind of connect the two, I think that, they kind of, like, for one, the podcast kind of didn't really openly say it, but the criminal justice, intro to criminal justice, in the first 2 chapters pretty much stated and admitted that, criminal justice isn't really for justice, that it's more for social stability, social control, and is based off social opinion of the haves. In another perspective, the elites, the rich, whatever else, however you want to look at it. That's the main thing I got to say, as far as anything, to at least connect the two in my reflection. Getting to more on the podcast side, though, because my retention for reading is not that good. But, as far as what I heard, and, Sarah, let's talk about the characters. Sarah is the narrator. Not only is she the narrator, she's a reporter. Okay. And as a reporter, you already know their job is kind of like, investigate, kind of get more details, information, kind of to inform. If anything, not necessarily to provide an opinion. So that's that. For Sarah, the narrator and reporter are just a person herself. I just really, out of that podcast, I felt that, she's not somebody I really want to deal with or work with, though she was very understanding from all points of view, and sympathetic towards the assailant or victim, Anna, who was the defendant, the accused, for assault, felony assault on an officer, class 4. Wow, yeah. But was dropped down to disorderly conduct, misdemeanor, as if. Anyways, although Sarah was sympathetic, I just don't really believe that as a reporter and somebody who can easily disconnect herself and say that, because people that people who are involved in crime or that get in trouble are particularly people who are poor or black, Hispanic, African American, whatever, that they're a different species. I thought that was a little much. So, I mean, hearing that, and after listening to her, and hearing that at the end, towards the end, it just really kind of disgusted me, and, made me feel like her position is more contradicted, you know what I mean, than most. If anything, she would have been better off just to stick with one side. You know what I mean? And at least maintain her position in that sense. You know what I mean? Explaining more, just there with the attorneys and prosecutors deal with, on the judges and everything. and like left out the part with the perspective, the point of view of the criminal, or Anna, the defendant, the accused, assailant, or victim. um, yeah, so that's my thing about her. I felt like, as sincere as she was, she lacked compassion, and I really believe that she somewhere deep down inside or in her head thinks she's better than people who either make mistakes, choose to do the wrong thing, or just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and get caught up. I just, it's no excuse for that kind of comment. Anyways, she was good at narrating and giving, some details about the courts, and portraying how, characters, characteristics, like the lawyer Russ, or actually not lawyer, public, district attorney, who is uh Anna the defendant, public defender. I liked how actually Sarah, the narrator, the reporter, actually recorded that, 35% of inmates actually receive a public defender, or actually not inmates, 35% of people who are proven indigent, basically incapable of paying for a lawyer, are provided a public defender. And then after that point, then it's the district attorneys. So that's that. I liked how she also talked about the somewhere in there that she included that, you do not, in your case, is not handled by one prosecutor, but two. That you first see a city and then a state. Now, city are for minor, and state are more for trial. At least that's what I got. So, yeah, so let's jump into the character of the lawyer. Now, I thought, if anything, he was a typical lawyer or district attorney. This guy is invested time, he's experienced, and all that stuff. With my history and stuff like that, I'll tell you that I see guys like that regardless. He was definitely the typical district attorney, stuck in to his position, more focused on his reputation. At one point in time, actually in the very beginning, what brought him into the podcast is that Sarah, the reporter, and Sarah, the reporter, the narrator, goes to meet with him first, and he says he wants to go big. Now, integrity means a lot, and when it comes to justice, or being an official of the law, whether it's some executive branch like the president or Congress, or on one of the wider branches or lower scales, like in the courts or in corrections, I think it was the courts is judicial, yeah. Anyhow, yeah, I just I don't really feel that he was aspired to do the job that the way he wanted to do it from the first place. I think a lot of people, they really in the podcast kind of put off that, they just kind of go along with the routine. And with that being said, he was just a piece of crap for that. So, and the fact that in the end of the of the result, at the end of the verdict, after Anna got charged and accepted her so-called deal, he could have helped her or offered her the advice and still didn't. So, he's I feel like he was conformed to more his position, his reputation, and the system that was already established. Moving on real quick about Anna. Okay, yeah, so she made a mistake. She acknowledged it. She was in the wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, she said she knew better. At the same time, I do not support her just nonchalantly or just, like damn near wholeheartedly accepting the verdict. It wasn't the fact that she accepted the deal. It was just more like she kind of just downplayed the fact that she pretty much said that she was guilty. And in the podcast, while Sarah was talking to Russ, the district attorney, Anna's public defender, Russ mentioned that, in criminal justice, that everybody who is innocent, or everybody, that could be proclaimed innocent, is still guilty of a misdemeanor, of something like that. But whatever. That's like basically just saying like, hey, you know what, you're a good person, but you're still human. So what are you saying? Because I'm human, I have to accept guilt for something that was not intentional? Miss me with that. So, two other minor characters, that kind of popped in and out, that were included into the report or the interview or the podcast, was the prosecutor, the first one. And then there was the judge. Not much dialogue from the judge. Yeah, that I don't know. The prosecutor, didn't really say if she really knew the guy, Russ, too well, but she knew of him. And that the issue was more that she felt that, because he was experienced, that automatically that he was gonna chastise her or try to coerce her into, do something that, was outside her position, or her position's integrity. Nothing was really, like I said, not much dialogue was given from the judge, or about the judge. And just kind of sum up all this up, because I'm at like 12 minutes, about to be 13. I don't really believe in the system. It's broken. A fact. The podcast, supports that. And you know what? Pretty much the textbook supports that. I don't believe that justice, or, anything that kind of, reflects justice should be surrounded and based off the opinion of not even the majority, or something that doesn't even really involve crime. And examples, you can look at now from nowadays, just political correctness on how you identify people or whatever, this and that. Anyways, yeah, and I didn't like the end result. I just don't think that it's fair, and criminal justice today and then, and probably will never be what it should be until individuals live up to their position with integrity and, passion, actually seeking out truth, and, the people who are truly responsible for these type of actions, I think the issue with criminal justice, that it is socially controlled, and it has a lot of sexual, complexes, when it comes to, women working with men, and, youth working with elders. But, yeah, that's that. I don't know what else to say. I did the best I could. I hope you guys enjoyed. Rico out.